I have just finished doing a quick recording for this week's Little Soprano Sunday Digest, and one of the aspects of this new sort of online presence that you have to have is that, of course, you're intent on building trust with people who just don't know you. So the object of the exercise is to attract people to your website, to your business, and that they should be able to observe you, and you should make efforts to stay in touch with them and wow them in some way with, I don't know, what the big thing at them, of course, is that you give them some kind of freebie, that you've got something to offer, information to give. Of course, any real sort of, in my position as a teacher, of course, with every lesson that you give, you're constantly giving out freebies, really, because you are sharing your knowledge. So it's a curious thing, this, and certainly the idea behind doing this vlog is twofold. As you know, number one is to get me a little bit more relaxed in front of the camera, because video is the way to go to make that contact with potential customers, but also to reach out via the vlog to people who might just stumble on what I have to say, hopefully led to the vlog because of a general interest in singing. And what I'm more anxious than anything to make sure when I send out, when I do video recordings like I've just done for my Sunday Digest, is to instill that feeling of it's okay to trust what I'm saying. I'm really, truly an enthusiast for singing, an ambassador for all that entails, and I have a lot of skill, not only in singing, but actually in the teaching as well. So it's an interesting balance where you feel you have to kind of put yourself out there and almost prove yourself, when what has happened in the past is that I've kind of gathered students, clients, purely from word of mouth, where they have arrived at my door and asked me if I would consider teaching them. And so the tables have turned slightly, and you have to sort of advertise yourself as being a truly, desirable person, someone you can trust online with your details and with your loyalty, I guess. So anyway, I'm in the process of writing what they call an epic blog post, which I have started to put together. These I find really hard because it's so important to get the right words. And when you're putting them on paper and you're sending them out there into the ether, you know that, if you don't get it right, it doesn't have to be perfect, I'm told, but if you don't get it right, then you're sending the wrong message. So I've just started to work on this epic blog post, but it's really saying all the same things that I believe in anyway. So the difficulty comes with making sure that the words I'm putting are fresh, as I suppose with this vlog. I still believe in all those basic things that, like any skill, learning how to sing should be something that's available to anybody if they so choose. But in so doing, the student or this person coming who wants to learn has to understand that it's like any kind of skill, it's going to take time. That music teachers, singing teachers don't have a magic wand to wave, and when it starts to go wrong, if there are problems with someone's voice, it's usually as a result of poor technique, or maybe they are singing too much, or maybe they're not resting enough, or maybe they're just trying to do stuff that's just not, it's too complicated for them. I still have recordings. I was listening, part of my past week has been transferring mini disc recordings of past vocal sessions with my vocal coach, on digitizing them digitizing, is that the right word? Anyway, making them digital. And I've been doing that. So as a result, I've been listening and to an awful lot of my own little vocal foibles. I'm being beaten to a pulp by my own vocal coach as to what I'm not remembering to do. And I realised that during the week, partly the inspiration for my blog post, my epic blog post, is about what drives us to do this thing that we love to do. And certainly with something like singing, there has to be an inner drive that makes you want to do it. It's a very joyful pursuit. And once you've got a few of those skills under your belt and you've put together your first song, say, I mean, that's an awesome moment. And it's great to see as a teacher when you witness people that you've taught really get it together and deliver a song exactly as we had rehearsed and talked about. It's very inspiring. So that's what I want to try and relay in my epic blog post, is that it's an exciting journey, but it's one of self-criticism. You have to be very kind of happy with being very self-critical, realizing that, you know, you're going to make sounds are going to come out that are awful, but that's part of it. You've got to allow yourself to get out of the way just so you can start to learn the vocal process, because it's not, a good sound is not made by just blasting and hoping for the best, or even trying to sing those high notes if you don't know how to, or that would also be true for low notes too. You've really got to work out how your voice works. And we all have a different sound, but we all have only one set of vocal folds, two little vocal folds, which it's incredible when you think about it, that your sound and my sound, no one will ever sound like me and no one will ever sound like you. So it's a really exciting journey, but it's difficult sometimes because there's an awful lot of self-criticism and introspection involved, where you think, oh, it's just I can't do it, or is this too difficult? And I've certainly heard a lot of that this week when listening to my own recordings of sessions where it sounds ridiculously difficult. I mean, some of these arias that I was looking at, I've never performed in a concert because I would not risk it. That's why you really have to understand where your truth strengths lie. And there are one or two arias I've taken along to my vocal coaching sessions which I would never ever perform, because I know that that's just a step too far for me. So what am I saying? This vlog, it's an interesting journey. And on the one hand, I am truly invested in encouraging people to getting on to the singing journey, but also I'm asking them to realise that I can't just deliver it to them. You know, I don't have a magic wand. It's really about being bold enough, brave enough to just hop aboard and see what happens. It's a wonderful experience, and one that has come to my own personal rescue emotionally throughout my lifetime, and still does. It's the one constant I can say that I've had in my life since I was probably 11 years old, and I'm hoping that it's going to be there for some time to come. But anyway, that's my little vlog for today, and now I must stop procrastinating and I must get back to see if I can polish off that epic blog post. Wish me luck.